Hello, I welcome you all to this lecture 2 session of fluid flow kinematics. In the last session, we have discussed with introduction to fluid flow kinematics and continuity equation. In this session, we will solve problems on continuity equation and we will derive the continuity equation in rectangular coordinates. Before solving the problems, we will see some important equations. Mass flow rate is given by rho into Q, density into volumetric flow rate or discharge. Density of fluid into discharge is nothing but mass flow rate. The SI unit of mass flow rate is kg per second. Then discharge is given by area into velocity. Therefore, mass flow rate is equal to rho into area into velocity. M dot is given by rho into Q. Q is area into velocity. Therefore, M dot is equal to rho into area into velocity. Discharge SI unit is meter cube per second. Sometime in the problem, they will mention discharge in terms of liter per second. You have to convert liter per second to meter cube per second first. Then you have to solve the problem. 1 liter per second is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube per second, because 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liter. This is a continuity equation we have discussed in the last class. Rate of flow at section 1-1 is equal to rate of flow at section 2-2. Whatever the mass flow rate into the system at 1-1 is equal to mass flow rate at the section 2-2. That is rho into area into velocity at section 1 is equal to rho into area into velocity at section 2-2. Rho 1 A1 V1 is equal to rho 2 A2 V2. If the fluid is incompressible, generally we will assume for a fluid the density remains same. Density rho 1 is equal to rho 2. Therefore, this continuity equation becomes A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. With this formula, we will solve problems on continuity equation. Now we will see the first problem. If 1200 liters of water flows per minute through a 0.2 meter diameter pipe which reduces to 0.1 meter diameter. Diameter is reduced from 0.2 meter to 0.1 meter. Then determine the velocity of water flow in the two pipes. There are two pipes in this problem. One pipe having 0.2 meter diameter. The diameter reduces to 0.1 meter diameter. Then 1200 liters of water flows per minute given. So time is given here. Please observe. So the given data is Q, 1200 liters per minute. Liters per minute nothing but what? It is a discharge. It is a volumetric flow rate because 1200 liters is a volume. Per minute nothing but discharge. 1200 liters per minute. Now you have to convert this liters per minute to meter cube per second. For that, first you have to convert meter cube per minute. Discharge SI unit is meter cube per second. For that, first you need to convert liters per minute to meter cube per minute. Liters to meter cube per minute, 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube per minute. 1200 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube per minute, that is nothing but 1.2 meter cube per minute. So per minute to second is 1.2 divided by 60, that is 0.02 meter cube per second. Now from the continuity equation A1 V1 equal to A2 V2, we have to equate the section 1 to section 2. Section 1 having 0.2 meter diameter and section 2 having 0.1 diameter. So if you equate, you will get velocity is equal to Q by A1. At section 1, velocity V1 is equal to Q by A1. That is Q by pi by 4 into d1 square. If you substitute, you will get 0.637 meter per second, because discharge q is equal to a1 v1 equal to a2 v2. First these two equations you substitute, equate, you will get v1 value. Then you equate these two equations, q is equal to a2 v2, you will get v2 as 2.55 meter per second. Now we will see the problem number 2. A water pipe of enlarging cross section has diameter of 0.4 meter and 1.2 meter at section 11 and 22 respectively. If the average flow velocity is 2 meter per second at section 11, then find the velocity at section 22. Also determine discharge and mass flow rate of water. Water pipe enlarging cross section has diameters 0.4 meter and 1.2 meter. Okay, this is enlarged pipe. Okay, inlet having 1 section having 0.4 diameter, outlet having 1.2 meter diameter. Okay, so d1 d2 given, velocity v1 2 meter per second, we have to find out v2, and also we have to find out discharge and mass flow rate. Discharge is equal to area into velocity. Mass flow rate is equal to rho into q. These three equations will help you to find the problem unknown in the problem. So A1 is equal to, because mass flow rate into the cross section, that is why you have to take cross sectional area. Okay, that is pi by 4 d square, 0.1257 meter square. Then A2, respective diameter you have to put. Section 11 having diameter 0.4, section 2 having diameter 1.2 meter, and find out area pi by 4 into d2 square, that is pi by 4 into 1.2 meter square is equal to 1.131 meter square. So now you apply continuity equation. You know A1, you know A2, A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. Okay, V2 is equal to, now V2 is equal to A1 V1 divided by A2. All values we have except V2. Find out V2 value 0.222 meter per second. Now we have the value of V2, we have the value of A2. Now Q is equal to what? Discharge is equal to, from the continuity equation, A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. So that is 0.1257 into 2. You can go for A2 V2 also. To find out Q, you can go for A2 V2 also, or A1 V1. Any one you can consider to find discharge Q. That is 0.2514 meter cube per second. While substituting parameter, you have to be careful about SI units. If it is given in terms of millimeter or centimeter, first you need to convert into meter. All the parameters should be in meter. Velocity should be meter per second. If discharge is given, then discharge should be in meter cube per second. If mass flow rate is given in the problem, mass flow rate should be in kg per second. So discharge is over. Now mass flow rate, that is equal to rho into q, rho of water into q, because working fluid is water here, that is why they have mentioned rho w into q. Okay, 251.4 kg per second. Now going to example 3, a pipe 1 meter in diameter carrying water at a velocity of 4 meter per second is branched into two pipes. The first branch is 0.6 meter in diameter and it carries 1/3 of the water flow. If the water flows in the second branch with the velocity 3 meter per second, then determine the flow velocity in the first branch pipe and the diameter of the second branch. So here there are two branches of a pipe. First branch consider section 11, second branch you consider section as 22. Then apply continuity equation. Let the diameter d is 1 meter. They have given velocity v 4 meter per second. Then d1 0.6 meter given, d1, and one more information given here in this problem. It carries 1/3 of the water flow. Okay, if the discharge is Q, Q1 will be 1/3 of that. Discharge is, if you take as Q, Q1 will be 1/3, that is Q by 3. meter cube per second and velocity v2 is 3 meter per second. Now let the q will be the total discharge, v1 be the water velocity in the first branch and d2 be the diameter of the second branch pipe. That is section 1 and 2. Discharge q is equal to area into velocity. A1 v1 equal to A2 v2. Finally, area into velocity is the equation. We have area, that is pi by 4 into d square, because pipe having 1 meter diameter they have given. This is not a d1. Please see the problem. A pipe 1 meter in diameter. So diameter is 1 meter, then velocity 4 meter per second. So area into velocity will give you 3.14 meter cube per second. Now q1 is equal to q by 3. It is mentioned in the problem. It carries 1/3 of the water flow. So q1 you will get 1.04 meter cube per second. Then q1, what is v1 is equal to? q1 is equal to area into velocity a1 v1. That is q1 is equal to a1 into v1. We need v1, that is q by a1. So q1 is 1.04 divided by a1 is what? Pi by 4 into d square. Because diameter of the first branch is mentioned in the problem. So finally you will get v1 as 3.7 meter per second. Then what about q2? Q is nothing but total q is nothing but q1 plus q2. You have q value 3.4. q2 you can find out because q is equal to sum of q1 plus q2. Therefore q2 is equal to q minus q1. All values we have, substitute and get the answer as 2.09 meter cube per second. So once you get q2, you can go for A2 V2 equation. q2 is equal to A2 V2. Find out A2, 0.6981 meter square. Once you get A2, you can find out easily the diameter of the second branch, because cross sectional area A2 of second branch is equal to pi into d2 square by 4. While substituting into the formula, respective diameter you have to put. If you are finding total discharge, then diameter of 1 meter you have to substitute. If you are finding discharge through the first branch pipe, then respective diameter, that means d1 you have to take to consider the problem. Now finally you will get d2 as 0.9428 meter. Now going to example 4. A 30 centimeter diameter pipe conveying water branches into two pipes of diameter 20 centimeter and 15 centimeter respectively. Pipes having two pipes of diameters 20 centimeter and 15 centimeter respectively. If the average velocity in the 30 centimeter diameter pipe is 2.5 meter per second, find the discharge in this pipe. Also determine velocity in 15 centimeter pipe if the average velocity in 20 centimeter diameter pipe is 2 meter per second. Observe here, 30 centimeter pipe is branched into two branches. One branch having 20 centimeter diameter, other branch having 15 centimeter diameter. There are three sections now, section 1, section 2, section 3. Respective diameter and velocity you have to consider while applying continuity equation at section 1, section 2, section 3. Before applying the continuity equation, make sure that respective parameters you have to put in the equation. Diameter d1, 0.3 meter given. Then area a1, pi by 4 into d1 square, that is 0.07 meter square. Then velocity v1 given, 2.5 meter per second. Diameter d2 given. Area A2 you can find out, 0.03. Velocity V2 2 meter per second. D3 is given 0.15. A3 you can find out 0.07 meter square. We have to find out discharge in pipe 1. D1 we have to find out. D1 we have to find out. Velocity in pipe of diameter 15 centimeter or V3 we have to find out. Now you see, let Q1, Q2, Q3 are discharges in pipe 1, 2 and 3 respectively. According to the continuity equation, total Q1 is equal to what? Q2 plus Q3, because inflow is Q1. It is branched into two branches, 2 and 3. That is Q1 is equal to Q2 plus Q3. Now you solve one by one. the discharge Q1 is equal to area into velocity. Okay, area of section 1, velocity of section 1, you will get 0.1767 meter cube per second. You will get as Q1. The value of V3 now. For that, first you find Q2, because for finding V3 we need Q3 value. How to find out Q3? For that we need Q2 first, because Q1 is equal to Q2 plus Q3. Find out Q2 value first, A2 into V2. Respect to area, respect to velocity, if you substitute, you will get Q2 value, that is 0.0628 meter cube per second. Now, you substitute here, you have the value of Q1 and Q2, you will get by simple substitution, Q3 is equal to 0.1139 meter cube per second. Now, once you get Q3, you can easily find out this velocity V3, because Q3 is equal to area into velocity from the continuity equation, A3 into V3. V3 is equal to 6.44 meter per second. Now, we will see the continuity equation in 3-dimension Cartesian coordinate system. It is a very important derivation in the module 2. All the basic differential equations can be derived by considering an elemental control volume. We have to derive the continuity equation in 3 dimensions Cartesian coordinate system, or it's also called rectangular coordinate system. We have to derive the continuity equation. So, while considering a small control volume, because all the basic differential equations can be derived by considering an elemental control volume. Elemental control volume dx, dy, dz. Here let us consider an infinitesimal, that means small fixed control volume dx, dy, dz as shown in the figure. Okay, the volume is dx, dy and dz as shown in the figure. The mass flow terms occurs on all 6 phases. That means the mass flow rate will take place in all the 6 places. Inflow, outflow in this phase, similar to the mass flow in this phase and mass flow out in this phase. So this control volume having 6 phases, that means 3 inlets and 3 outlets. All fluid properties are considered to be uniformly varying as a function of time and position. All fluid properties are considered to be uniformly varying as a function of time and position. For example, density rho is a function of x, y, z and time t. X, y, z are the space coordinates and t will be the time. Now we have to derive the continuity equation in Cartesian coordinates. This equation is mainly based on conservation of mass principle. Conservation of mass principle. Now we will see a small control volume having length dx in x direction, dy in y direction and dz in z direction, and u, v and w are the inlet velocities components in x, y and z directions respectively. U will be the inlet velocity component in x direction, v will be the inlet velocity component in y direction and w will be the inlet velocity component in z direction. We have to use the principle of conservation of mass to derive the continuity equation in 3 dimensions, that is Cartesian coordinates or rectangular coordinates. For that we need 3 fundamental equations. Mass flow rate is equal to rho into q, we have already used while solving the problems from the continuity equation, area into velocity. Therefore, mass flow rate is equal to rho into area into velocity. Rho into area into velocity. Just to equate these two, you will get mass flow rate is equal to rho into area into velocity. This equation is a very important equation. Same equation will be used throughout the derivation. Now consider a fluid element of length dx, dy, dz in the direction of x, y and z. Let u, v, w will be the inlet velocity components in x, y and z directions respectively. If you look at the diagram, consider a element of dx, dy, dz will be the elemental volume having length, and u, v, w will be the velocities at x, y and z directions. Now mass of the fluid or mass flow rate which is entering the phase ABCD. Please see this ABCD. Then one more suggestion is that while watching this video, keep doing whatever I am explaining in the presentation. Then you can easily understand the derivation. Please draw the diagram and follow whatever I am explaining in the presentation. So mass of the fluid entering the phase ABCD per second, that is rho into area into velocity. Area of the phase ABCD is what? That is in x direction. We are considering in x direction the area of phase ABCD, that is dy into dz. If you look at the diagram, dy, length dy into dz, this into this will be the area of this phase ABCD. Similarly for this phase, that is written here, rho into velocity is what in x direction? It is u. What is the area? dy into dz. Similarly, the mass of the fluid leaving the phase EFGH. Similarly, mass of the fluid leaving the phase EFGH is given by rho into u into dy dz, mass flow rate rho into area into velocity, plus dou by dou x of rho into dy dz into dx. This is the extra amount of the mass because already I have explained all the properties are considered to be uniformly varying as a function of time and position. Because the fluid particles, after moving a distance dx, the fluid particles will vary how much amount of the mass flow rate in the EFGH phase, that is given as rho into u into dy dz plus dou by dou x of this element into dx. Okay. Now total gain of mass in x direction. We have to find out mass flow rate in x direction. Total mass flow rate in x direction. That is mass flow rate through ABCD minus mass flow rate through EFGH. Because one is inflow, other one is outflow. That is the negative sign. Mass flow rate through ABCD minus mass flow rate through EFGH. That is rho into u into dy dz minus rho u into dy dz minus dou by dou x of rho into u into dy dz into dx. This is the amount of mass flow rate through EFGH. This is the mass flow rate of phase ABCD. Mass flow rate through the phase ABCD. Now if you simplify, you will get this get cancelled, remaining is minus dou by dou x of rho u into dy dz into dx. That is written as rho u because area is not changing, area is constant, rho u into dx dy dz. That is why area is constant, So we are taking this term dy dz outside. So rho u into dx dy dz. Similarly, the net gain in the gain of mass flow rate in y direction, that is dou by dou y of rho into v into dx dy dz. It is in x direction, no? U is the velocity in x direction. Similarly, you write, instead of u, you take v, because net gain of mass in y direction we are calculating now. Rho into v dx dy dz. Dx dy dz will be the volume. Volume will not change. Dx dy dz. Respect to velocity you put in similarly in that direction, dou by dou z of rho into w dx dy dz with the negative sign. Till here you have to derive. After that you can write directly net gain of mass in y direction minus dou by dou y of rho into v into dx dy dz, and in z direction it is minus dou by dou z of rho into w into dx dy dz. Now net gain of masses, because Cartesian coordinates having x, y, z, so you sum all these x direction, y direction plus z direction. That is negative sign you take outside, dou by dou x of rho u plus dou by dou y of rho v plus dou by dou z of rho into w dx dy dz common throughout. Net gain of masses through x, y and z direction. Now, since according to the conservation of mass principle, mass is neither be created nor be destroyed in the fluid element. Therefore, the net increase of mass per unit time in the fluid element must be equal to the rate of increase of mass of fluid element. The mass of fluid element is what? Rho into dx dy dz. Mass is equal to, because density is equal to mass by volume. What is mass? Rho into volume. Rho into volume. And it's in rate form. How you can write in rate form per unit time? Dou by dou t of this term. So mass is written as rho into volume. Volume of this element is dx dy dz into rho. Okay, in rate form we can write dou by dou t of rho into dx dy dz. That is dou rho by dou t, because volume will not change, volume, control volume. So they have kept outside dx dy dz. Density is a parameter that will change uniformly with respect to space and time. That is why finally dou rho by dou t into dx dy dz. Therefore, equating these two expressions, minus dou by dou x of net gain of mass in x, y and z direction is given by dou by dou x of rho u, dou by dou y of rho v plus dou by dou z of rho into w dx dy dz is equal to this equation, according to the conservation of mass principle. Dou rho by dou t into dx dy dz. Finally, what we can write? Dou rho by dou t dx dy dz, dx dy dz throughout common, so it get cancel each other. Remaining term is dou rho by dou t, you take this side, dou rho by dou t plus dou by dou x of rho u plus dou by dou y of rho into v plus dou by dou z of rho into w is equal to 0. This equation is called continuity equation in Cartesian coordinate. Continuity equation in Cartesian coordinates or rectangular coordinates. So I will just highlight the things. Net gain of mass is an important equation. First you find the gain in x direction by substituting mass flow rate through ABCD minus mass flow rate through EFGH. Finally you will get dou by dou x of rho into u dx dy dz. Similarly, net gain of mass in y direction, you replace u by term v, then x by y, because it is in y direction. Similarly for z direction. Z direction velocity you put in the above equation, and z direction net gain of mass we are finding, that is why it is minus dou by dou z term will come. Net gain of mass equation becomes dou by dou x of rho u plus dou by dou y of rho v plus dou by dou z of rho w into dx dy dz with the negative sign. This net gain of mass is because of what? According to the principle, it is because of dou by dou t of rho into dx dy dz. Because mass is neither be created nor be destroyed in the fluid element, the net increase of mass per unit time in the fluid element must be equal to rate of increase of mass of fluid in the element. This sentence is very, very important. Then only we can equate these two expressions. Net gain in the mass flow rate in all x, y and z direction, equation is here, and dou rho by dou t into dx dy dz is the rate of increase of mass with respect to time. Okay. If you equate these two, you will get the continuity equation in Cartesian coordinates. Now we will see the special cases of continuity equation in Cartesian coordinates. We can apply this continuity equation for steady flow, for incompressible type of flow, as well as we can apply one-dimensional, two-dimensional flows. For that we need general form of continuity equation first. General form of continuity equation in the Cartesian coordinates is given by dou rho by dou t plus dou by dou x of rho into u plus dou by dou y of rho into v plus dou by dou z of rho into w equal to 0. This is a general form. Now for the special case, we can modify this equation for a steady flow. For example, for a steady flow means what? It is one type of flow in which the fluid parameters will not change with respect to time. So right form of property is density here, that is density dou rho by dou t term dou rho by dou t equal to 0. Density is not changing with respect to time for steady flow. So this equation, in this equation you can neglect this term. The remaining equation is what? Dou by dou x of rho into u plus dou by dou y of rho into v plus dou by dou z of rho into w equal to 0. This is the equation for steady flow continuity equation in Cartesian coordinate. If the fluid is incompressible, then rho is constant. Rho is constant means in this equation you can take this rho outside of the equation, then RHS side is 0. That means you can neglect rho throughout the equation. Rho u by dou x plus dou v by dou y plus dou w by dou z equal to 0 if you eliminate a rho term in the general equation. Equation 1 is the continuity equation in 3 dimension. For the 2-dimensional flow, the component w will be 0 because it's a 2-dimension, only x and y you can consider. So w value will be, velocity component w will be 0. Hence the continuity equation becomes dou u by dou x plus dou v by dou y is equal to 0. This is the equation of 2-dimensional incompressible steady flow, because we have omitted the value of rho throughout the equation and there is no term dou rho by dou t. If you are neglecting dou rho by dou t term, then it is a steady flow, because for a steady flow the parameters with respect to time not changing, so we can neglect this term. So this is the equation of 2-dimensional steady incompressible flow. Dou u by dou x plus dou v by dou y is equal to 0. With this I am concluding this session. The following references are used for the preparation of these slides. Thank you.